Few people asking for this, so I'm going to do today what's called a core finisher workout. You can do this either one segment at a time, or you can create a very long duration of core training. So I've already had my regular workout in, which was lifting weights here at home. And then I'm going to finish up with some core exercises. I'm going to start out with the easiest ones first, and then we'll progress them and make them harder and harder. So what you're going to need for today's training is just your mat, paper plates, or if you like to take your shoes off and wear soft fuzzy socks, those will work also. So I'm going to start with paper plates and keeping my sneakers on, but then you'll probably notice how partway through class I'll kick my shoes off because it's nice to be able to work out without sneakers on at home. So if you guys are ready, this one's not going to be a huge sweaty burnout, but what this is going to do is help to engage your core muscles, not just your rectus abdominis. You've got your obliques, your lower back, your hip flexors, your quads, your glutes are actually included in your core, and so is part of your hamstring. So we want to make sure with this workout, we're hitting all the different areas of our core, not just focusing in through here, because if we just focus on one spot, the rest of the spots actually get weaker. So we're going to be working 360 degrees for today's class. So I'm going to turn on some music for us because I don't like to work out when it's super duper quiet. If you end up hearing dogs whining or crying, it's because I've locked them out of the movie theater room so I could get a nice quiet workout in with you guys for today. So let me turn that music up and let's get ourselves started. So you should already have done your workout. This is just your finisher. So best part, you get to lay down. Let me turn on my timer. What we're gonna do here, we're gonna take our hips, we're going to push them down into the floor. I want you to pull your belly button in nice and close into your spine. Hands are going to rest next to your sides. We're going to lift your hips up. You're going to walk out with your right foot. Out, out, in. Then do that again. Out and in. Good. So the goal on this is we don't want to see your hips touch the floor. Hold them up as high as you can as you step out and come back in. Good. Now, your belly button is pulled in towards your spine. Your hips are pressing up towards the ceiling. You only got about 5 more seconds to go before you get a little bit of a rest. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Bring it in. Lower the hips down. If you want to move your legs from side to side, you can do that. Then we're going to switch. You're going to start with the opposite leg. So 3, 2, 1. Let's lift our hips up. Now you're moving the other leg first and bringing it back in. Again, we're pushing our shoulders. Our head is resting on the floor. We're just focusing in on that lower half. Stepping out, coming back in. Good. You want to use your mat for this first exercise, especially if you have socks on. So that way you're getting a good workout, feeling it through the glutes, the lower back, and the core. You've only got about 15 more seconds left. Looking good, you guys. Hips up. I know a lot of times halfway through a workout, we tend to get a little lazy. We let our hips start to fall towards the floor. Just don't let your hips touch the ground, okay? We got 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Lower the hips all the way down. Lower back needs to make an impact with that ground. We're going to lift our hips up and then lower the hips all the way down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So hips lift. I want you to squeeze your glutes up at the top. Then make sure your lower back touches the floor. A lot of times people make a mistake and leave an arch in their spine. Let's not do that. So push your lower back all the way down and then come all the way up. So we're activating hamstrings, glutes, lower back, and into your rectus abdominis. Again, this is the easier option of starting out with your workout. Do you want to challenge and make this harder? Lift the toes up off the floor. If you feel like that's still too easy, what you can do is take one leg, raise it up off the ground, but try to not twist the hip. Keep your hips square, whether it's a straight leg or a soft knee. You want to try to keep your hips even with each other. We're going to keep going for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job, you guys. Rest, move the legs around a little bit. Maybe you got to stretch out to one end, switch and go to the other end. We're going to do this all over again. So laying down, arms rest next to your side. Lift your hips up. You're going to start first with your right side. I'm going to start on my left, okay? 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Walking out, coming back in. So again, don't let your butt touch your mat. I need you to keep your hips lifted up as high as you can while we do this exercise. Looking good, team. We only got 20 more seconds of this before we got to switch and do the other side. So we're not going to take a break in between on this one, okay? You have the last 12 seconds to go. 4, 3, 2, switch to your left. I'm going to switch to my right. Walk out, walk back in. So again, watch those hips. Don't let them fall towards the floor. You want to keep them elevated up, off from the ground. Maybe you can't step too far out because then your hips really fall. That's okay. Give me a little step out and then that good step back in. Keeping the hips lifted. You got 6, 5, 4. We're going into those hip bridges in 2, 1. So place the feet hip distance apart. Lower back. Make the impact on the mat. Lift up and lower. Good. Lift up and lower. So your belly button has got to stay pulled in, okay? Remember, if you want to make this harder, lift the toes up off the floor. Remember in round 1, we lifted up one leg? If you're doing round 3 or level 3, I want you to switch. So the hips are still staying. I'm not twisting and rotating into it. I'm staying hip distance apart, and we're not churning and moving at the hips. We're trying to press gently up without that twist happening, okay? You got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Grab the knees. Whew. Hold, maybe even want to sway and go from side to side. You can totally do that as well. That was 5 minutes. So that's our level 1, okay? It's the easiest one to do. You just get yourself onto the floor. You stay in one general position. So this is great if you're looking to hit all areas of the core and not really put a whole lot into your upper body with doing a plank, okay? So this can be a 3-round type of a set, a 4-round, a 5-round, or just what we did right now as a 2-round. Now we're gonna progress, take you into the next part of our core workout. We're gonna work a little bit into those obliques. So here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna take your arm, rest it gently onto the floor. I want your elbow to be stacked right underneath your shoulder. Don't let it go out here in front of you. Then you're gonna take your bottom knee and bend it. So look at my top leg. I'm having it nice and straight and flat off to the side. My arm is resting, elbow underneath my shoulder. Your hand can go here, your hand can go up above your body if you would like to. And we're just gonna lift the hip up, and I want you to hold this. You can be here, here, or arm going straight up towards the side. You pick how you would like to do this. Hold it, guys. I know the hip wants to start falling. Pull. Lift it back up. Beautiful. Keep holding it. So we're using that side oblique. Hold it. Hold it. Looking good. 6, 5, 4, 3. Check this out. You're going to drop your hip and lift it up. Let's go. So the hip is going to rest on the floor for just a split second. Then you're going to raise it on up, off from the ground. For some people, it feels better to have their other arm extended up towards the ceiling. You can totally do that. Keep moving, guys. You got 10 more seconds. Beautiful. You're probably feeling a nice little burn, too, happening in the shoulder joint. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's rest. Take a breather. Maybe you want to stretch out that arm just a little bit. Guess what? You got 2 sides. So we're going to do the same thing on to the other side. I'm going to turn myself around. I'm going to set myself up back into that low plank. Again, let's start from the top. Make sure that elbow is underneath that shoulder. Make sure that that knee is in alignment with that hip. So don't have it out in front of you. And then that top leg, it's nice and straight, resting out to the side. Let's lift the hip up as high as we can and just hang out right here with me. Option, you can have that arm stretched up towards the ceiling. Good, guys. Just hold it. Hold it, breathing in through your nose. Exhaling through your mouth. We're almost there. Beautiful. Hip higher. I know it's trying to drop on you. 3, 2, 1. Give me that hip drop now. So I want your hip to rest to the floor and then lift right back up. So we're going to lower and lift. Good. Now I'm staying in this round at a level 1. We're going to revisit this a couple more times. I'll show you the modifications and the progressions to make this a little bit harder. So the goal on this, pretend there is a string that is attached from your hip up to the ceiling. We want to lift and lower. Good. Lift and lower. There you go. You got 10 more seconds to go. Beautiful. We're at 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Take a breather. Maybe you want to lay down. Let that arm stretch out just a little bit. Go ahead and do that. Now we're going to hit both sides of your core. So here's what I want you to do. You're going to get set up into a low plank. So your forearms are going to go down onto the floor. I want you to stack your shoulder and your elbow on top of each other. Then I want you to take your toes, plant them into the floor, and lift your knees off the ground. Now, if that's too much, just give me one knee on the ground, one knee off the ground. So we're not twisting our hip to the floor. We're holding it here, or you're holding it here. Belly button is pulled in towards that spine. Glutes are squeezed. My shoulders are not out front. They're stacked right on top of those elbows. Look slightly ahead where your palms and your fists are at. In through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Good. In through the nose. Now switch. If you had one knee down, I want you to hold, straighten out the other knee. Try to keep those hips nice and level. If you're on your toes, you're still holding it. We're almost there. It's only a minute, you guys. Keep holding. It's a long minute too, isn't it? 10 more seconds. 4, 3, 2, done. Rest. I want you to sit back into a child's pose where you're breathing in through your nose and you're exhaling through your mouth. Breathing in through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. Maybe you even want to thread the needle where you take one arm and cross it through, looking over towards that palm. I'm going to hit up, do the other side, same thing, breathing in through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Perfect. When you're ready, maybe you need a sip of water. We're going to go back to the very beginning. So I want you to get yourself set back up into that side low plank. I'm going to show you the progression here, okay? So elbow is underneath the shoulder. We have that bent knee. That's my level 1, right? Our level 2, we're actually going to stagger you guys this time. So you're going to lift your hips up. You can do that level 1 that we just did, hand on your hip or hand extended up. My level 3, you're stacking a hip over hip, knee over knee, foot over foot. We're just holding it here, guys. So I know the hip starts to drop. Pull and lift it up. Keep holding. Good. Almost there. 3, 2, 1. Into your hip drop. So the arm can stay up. The arm can stay on the hip. If you need to go back down to that lower modification, it's the bottom knee that's going to be bent, okay? So progression, this is 2. Level 3, you stack. 6, 5, 4. Remember that string. 2, 1. How about we switch? Do the same thing, just onto that other side. Let me scooch my mat a little closer into you guys. So set up that forearm, bent knee, stagger, stack, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So find that middle ground. I want you to have your hips lifted up nice and high, breathing in through your nose, Exhaling through your mouth. Remember, this is level 2. This is level 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the hip, lift the hip. Let's go. So pretend that string is on your hip, pulling towards the ceiling. Hand on the hip or hand up towards the sky. You're almost there. Keep going, guys. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Looking good. Time to turn you onto the floor, okay? So forearms go down. Make sure your shoulders are stacked up. Take your feet out, hip distance apart. Remember, you're level 1. One leg is going to be straight. One knee is going to be on the ground. But let's not twist our hips into it. So whether you have one knee down or on your toes, make sure your butt's not coming up. Pull the belly button in. Keep your hips at shoulder width height. Don't let them drop or lift. If you're on one knee, switch. Go to the other knee. Hold it here. We're almost there. 4, 3, 2. Beautiful, guys. Child's pose. Sit back and rest with me, breathing in through your nose. Exhaling out through your mouth. Woo. Breathing in. Exhaling out. Beautiful. Now, we're going to do some paper plates. So I have 2 paper plates ready to go for this workout for the core. Again, we're progressing. It's going to get harder and harder and harder, okay? So I'm just going to fold this mat over so that way I don't have to move around too much. We are going to get you set up first on your knees. So your knees are going to go down onto the floor. Then I want you to walk your hands forward into a plank. All you're going to do here is take one leg and go out and come in, and then you'll switch. Out, in, and then switch. Without letting your hip fall towards that side. This is where it gets really hard, okay? So hands are underneath your shoulders. Stay here with me at level 1. Just tap one foot out, bring it in, and then alternate. If you have your socks on, this probably feels really good. Tapping one foot off to the side, coming back and doing the other side. Good, guys. Don't forget your breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Do we want to make this harder? Lift ourselves up into that high plank. Belly button staying pulled in. Hips are not dropping towards the floor. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Take a breather. Let your heart rate come down. Whew. Maybe you need to shake your arms out a little bit. Now we're going to switch things up. Again, this is getting harder and harder and harder. So choose your hard for this core finisher. So now we're changing. We're going to face towards our paper plates, okay? I'm going to start on my knees. It's easy as if everyone does, okay? We're going to do something called a rollout. Now, you've probably seen this wheel at the gym that has little handles that you can press and roll yourself out on. It's essentially what you're going to do here with paper plates. So, let me scooch this back a little. You're just going to push yourself out without allowing your hips to drop towards the floor. So you want to stay in a plank and then pull yourself back. Press out and pull yourself back. For some people, you might even go out of range and get your arms out in front. But the biggest thing we don't want to see is the hips fall down or the butt pike too high up towards the sky. We got 20 more seconds, guys. Come on. 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. So pushing out, pulling back without allowing that hip drop to happen. When you go for 10 more seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2. Let's do one more because I always want to do one more. Good. Rest. Woo! That was too easy. You can also try that on your toes, but I generally like to be up against a wall so that way my heels are pushing into a wall when I do that, okay? So we're gonna turn you around. We're gonna go back to that lower half where we are extending one leg out, working into our obliques. So round 2, I'm gonna start on my toes, but if you still need to be on your knees, you can be here. Or on your toes, it's a little harder. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So the further out you allow your foot to go, the better engagement into that oblique. So I want you to exhale and then breathe in as your foot is coming back to the center. Make sure, guys, that your butt is not starting to pike up. We want this to stay in the core. We don't want to put this into that glutes. Almost there. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Nice. Turn around. Switch things up. Hands are going to go onto the plate. Remember to keep that belly button pulled in your core. Nice and brace. 3, 2, 1. You roll out. We pull back. Roll yourself out. Pull yourself back. Watch the butt, guys. Don't let the hips stay higher than the shoulders. Press out like you're getting into a plank on your knees. And then pull and squeeze. Bring your body back. Nice. To the mat. Can you go for 10 more seconds? I'm starting to sweat a little bit. Are you? 3, 2, 1. Whew. Awesome. Job. Rest. Let your heart rate come down. Maybe you want to get a sip of some water. I'm going to put this mat back out on the floor for us. And I'm going to take off my shoes, actually, because the more I can work out without shoes, just the better you feel, right? We are now going to get back onto the mat, laying down with your lower back pushed into the mat. So remember in the beginning, I wanted you to press your lower back down, pull your belly button down into the floor. We don't want to be able to stick our hand underneath our spine. So pull the whole spine, make that imprint in the ground. My level 1, you're going to place your hands just underneath your hips and you're going to soften your knees, okay? So you're just going to stretch out one leg, bring it back, and then do the other one and bring it back. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So my level 2, your hands are not underneath your hips. Your hands are actually off to the side, but you're still trying to keep your lower back connected to the floor, okay? A little harder. Straighten out the legs a little bit more. Maybe you're not ready for them to be fully straight, so you just want to have them slightly out and in front of you. Again, we're focusing on the lower back. Try to not arch the spine up. Keep it down. Shoulders and head are resting. Maybe you're ready. You want to start all the way from the top. You got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Maybe it's grabbing your knees. Maybe it's setting your feet on the floor and lifting your hips up so you can stretch out your hip flexors and your lower back. Whatever feels good is what I want you to do, okay? So I showed you the different progressions for that exercise. Now, we're going to take our left leg, cross it over our right leg. So almost like you're sitting in a chair with your left knee extending out towards the side of the room. You're going to take your right hand, put it behind your right ear. Now the biggest thing, guys, with this one, don't grab your neck or your head. It's just your fingertips touching your ear. Your left hand is going to go down on the floor off to the side. You're going to exhale, give me a cross crunch, and then come back down. So we're going to exhale, breathe in. Exhale, breathe in. Good. So I want to hear you exhale and breathe as you do this exercise. Also, don't cheat yourself. Don't stay up here. Come all the way down and go all the way back up. Good. Smile, guys. You're almost done. We're switching legs. In 12 more seconds. You got it. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switch it up. Now my right leg is crossed over. My left fingertips are behind my left ear. I'm exhaling on the up, breathing in on the down. So exhale, breathe. Good. Exhale, breathe. So the cross crunch, we're working on those muscles located in your rectus abdominis. You've only got 15 more seconds left to go. Looking good, guys. 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Again, you need to lift your hips. And lift your hips up. Maybe even move your legs around. Maybe grab it onto your knees. Feels good. You can do that one too as well. Back to the beginning. So my level oneers, hands underneath the hips. Knees are bent. A little harder, hands are not underneath your hips. Your legs are a little bit straighter, one at a time. So I want your lower back pressing down. I know when we drop a foot, our back naturally wants to arch up. Don't let it, guys. Also, don't cheat. Don't lift your head up. This makes it easier for your core, okay? So you want your head to stay down, resting on the floor. Remember, a little harder. Straighten out your legs. Want to take it to a 4th level. Both legs going down and up. So you breathe in here. You exhale here. Watch your back. Do not allow for that lower back to lift up off that mat. Fight it. Pull your belly button down. We're almost there. We're not going to have a break. You're going to go right into that cross crunch. In 4, 3, 2. Right hand heading to your left knee. Up and over. And then back down. Good, guys. Exhale. Breathe in. Beautiful. Remember, don't cheat. Come all the way down, all the way up. Perfect. Switching it up in 4, 3, 2, 1. How about we do the other side? Exhale up. Breathe in down. Exhale, breathe in. Remember, we're not trying to cheat our core. Make sure your arm, your shoulder come all the way down to the bottom. Beautiful. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. You all right? Breathe in through the nose. Maybe you want to do that hip bridge again. Lift up. Let your heart rate come down just a little bit. Maybe you just want to grab your knees, kind of let your glutes move around, your feet, your ankles move around just a little bit. Perfect. All right, we're taking this to advanced, so it's going to get a bit harder, okay? So there is no easy road with this next part. You're going to take your legs, your left leg to be specific. You're going to straighten it out in front of you. You're going to take your right leg, cross it over. So instead of being here where we were just at, you're down here. Hands can go underneath the hips if you need help, or next to your sides. Focusing in on that lower back. You're going to lift up. Try to get your butt off the floor, slowly lowering that leg down. So we're going to exhale, and that breath in. Keep that right leg crossed over that left leg. Hip lifts off the ground if you can. 4, 3, 2, we switch. Right leg goes straight. Left leg crosses over. And again, hip is coming up off that floor. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Woo. Take a breather. Lift those legs up. Remember, this is not easy. This is a challenging one. Legs are going to go a little bit away. So don't keep them straight up towards the ceiling. Let them go a little bit away from your hips. Fingertips under your ears. Exhale, breathe. Exhale, breathe. So I don't want you pulling on your neck. Just let your fingertips touch your ears. Push your belly button down. I need to see an exhale and a breath in. Don't cheat by staying up here. Down and up. Ten more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. You okay? Move your legs around a little bit. Maybe if you need to go side to side, maybe give a little pull at your lower back. Get a little bit of a breather in through there. Good. Back to that left leg straight. Right leg, cross it over. Hands next to your side or underneath your hips. Remember, your butt is coming up and off that mat for a split second. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We switch. No rest. 3, 2, 1, guys. This is my harder side. For some of us, it's the left. For some of us, they both suck and they both hurt the same. Just keep going, okay? Remember, butt off the ground for a split second before you slowly drop. Don't let your leg just slam to the floor. Fight that gravity. 4, 3, 2, legs up, not right on top of your hips, slightly away. Exhale, breathe. Come on. Remember, don't hang out up here. All the way down. Don't grab your neck either, you guys. Harder. Legs go out a little further. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay here for a second. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Put your feet right next to each other. Knees right next to each other. Arms go out. Drop your knees in one direction. Look into the opposite direction of where your knees just fell. Holding it here for 3 and 2. Let's switch. Same thing. Other side. Holding it here. Beautiful, guys. How about we straighten out our legs, come back to the center, take your right leg, lift it up, gently pull it in towards your chest. Maybe you want to roll the ankle around a little bit. Beautiful. How about we release? Let's switch. Same thing, just the other side. Good pull. Hold it here. Good. 3 and 2 and 1. Perfect. We're going to turn you guys over onto your tummies. And then I want you guys to get up into a tabletop position. So your hands are going to go underneath your shoulders. Your knees are going to go underneath your hips. We're going to lift and round our back. Tuck your chin into your chest. And then reverse. Eyes look ahead. Back falls towards the floor. So round the spine, curve the back, and then drop it down. Good. Round the back. One more time. Round the back up. Release. How about we get into a child's pose? So knees go out to the sides of the mat. Toes come in to the center. I want you to stretch your fingertips forward. Walk your hands away from your body. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Perfect. Let's walk to one side of our mat. Put your left hand down. Take your right hand, put it over. And then try to aim your belly button towards that side of the mat. Feeling that stretch on that right oblique. Good. Back to the center with me. In the middle, just here for a breath. And take your right hand. Get to the other side of the mat. Bring your left hand over. And then gently push your belly button in towards that side of the mat. Holding it here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect, you guys. I hope you guys had fun. Remember, this is a core finisher.